What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Astro Show. Today we're looking at the Hasbro Power Rangers Lightning Collection ZAP Astro Megazord. So I'm super excited about this because if you've been watching this channel, I collect a lot of Megazords and I have yet to have any Megazords from Power Rangers in Space. I think I have about 4 seasons I don't have any Zords from, and In Space is one of them. So it's awesome to finally get a Megazord from it and their main Megazord of the Astro Megazord. So again, it's part of the Lightning Collection Zord Ascension project. So we have the logo up there and it just looks really cool. I always love the front box artwork where we have sort of like the blueprint design around the outside on the sleeve and then the Megazord head there in the center. So we have down here at the bottom, it's MZ0602 from In Space of the Astro Megazord. So it appeared in season 6 episode 2 of Power Rangers in Space. So it looks really cool. For us, so we'll spin the box around to see it. We have the artwork of the Megazord there on the side, the picture there on the back. So we have our Megazord and all the accessories and stuff it'll come with. So that looks really cool. And then again, another picture of the figure there on the side. So it just looks awesome. So let's slide this sleeve off. So here we have the box without the sleeve and you can see the head of the Megazord and looks really cool there with the nice artwork design. Looks really cool. And spin the box around, of course, can still see the same Megazord there. We have the Z. So of course that's from Zoo Ranger, the Sentai version of Mighty Morphin, but they switched the Z now for the Zord Ascension project. At the top we have the QR code, so you can scan that to bring up the website. That'll take you to the Zord. And then unfortunately ours was arrived a little bit damaged, so it looks like it got dropped on the corner. So this whole corner edge is all busted up. So that's unfortunate, but the rest of it looks good. So let's go and slide the lid off. So here we have the inside of our lid, which always looks really cool. I love of course the details. You can see the lines with the Z's all through it there, but we have the Megazord fighting with a Cliptor, so that's pretty cool. So when Cliptor went big and fought with the Megazord, so that's awesome. And then we have the inside of the box. So first off the bat, we have our panels, so like the control panel for the Megazord inside. So it looks cool with, of course, like the breakdown of all this stuff here. So it looks really cool with all the words and stuff there, and then of course the engines and all the statuses of stuff in there. Looks really cool. In our Mega Ranger logo that looks like the envelope, so it's cool having that down there. But we can go and slide this piece out, and as you can see, we have the design down inside here. So we have our ship down in the wrapping. So it always has like this tissue paper design, and I love how they have the artwork on it. All the new Hasbro stuff has it. So it has all the Z's all over it. So of course we have our ship all wrapped up in here, and then it looks like we have other stuff. So we of course have our instructions that I'll need to look at because they tend to have some special instructions on this stuff that I'll need to make sure I figure out. And it looks like down in the bottom we have all their accessories hidden. So let's open these. So from our first bag, it looks like we have the blaster, so like the gun piece and stuff, so that's cool. Then we have the Astro Mega Shuttle, so that makes the face of the Megazord. So cool to have the Astro Mega Shuttle. Then this one got ripped up a little, but we have the extra hands, which these hands are huge, which if you didn't know, this Megazord's going to be humongous. So we get some fists and then some like open hands and stuff, and they feel like a nice like rubbery, like they're not solid, but they have like a rubbery feel to them and stuff, but cool to have those. So we have fist hands and our open hands. And then I assume what our last thing in the box is all our little Ranger figures. So hopefully we have them all and all correctly. So we have red, pink, black, yellow, and blue, and they do all look relatively correct, because in the Dino Megazord one I had some messed up. I think I had a pink Ranger as a red Ranger or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, it does look like I have them all correct here, so that's really nice. And I almost missed it in the box, but there we have the Megazord saber, so that's really cool. So that was hidden down in the box, so almost missed that, but you can see just how big this sword is. It's humongous, so that looks really cool as well. So we'll set that aside, and so I think that's everything out of the box now. So let's look at the actual Megazord. So here we have the Astro Megaship. That looks pretty cool. It's a little bit crooked, and I'll show you why. And actually because it's an issue with this set that I've seen, but it's a little bit crooked, but it does look really cool, even though, like I said, it is crooked there, unfortunately. But it looks so cool in the Astro Megaship mode here. So this was a ship created by Zordon and Alpha 5 on Eltar, but it's now in possession of Andros, and the Turbo Rangers use the Astro Mega Shuttle to chase after Divatox into space, and the shuttle ends up getting picked up by the Megaship, and Andros recruits the Turbo Rangers to become the Space Rangers, and then Alpha 6 reconfigures the shuttle to combine with the Megaship to become the Astro Megazord. So again, we just have the Astro Megaship in this form here, and then it picks up the shuttle as I mentioned, so we get our little shuttle thing here, which is really cool. So we have this, and we can open up the doors, so the front of it opens up here, and it can take the Mega Shuttle in, so it fits right inside. So it folds up with the Mega Shuttle right inside of it there, so then it fits all together there, which is really cool. So now we have everything together for the Astro Megaship with the shuttle connected in, so that is pretty cool. And of course stuff's already starting to fall off, but the outside of the ship looks pretty cool. Like I said, it's a little bit of issues putting that together, seem to like help fix some of the issues in here, but it is a little bit crooked because if you can see, this side is sticking up because there's a clip that won't clip because the piece is broke, and I've seen a lot of people have that issue, and mine just already, which I doubt you can hear, there is a piece rattling around inside, so even just right out of the box it's already broken. So again, Hasbro's not doing too well with those ships. Like I said, I like the like Dino Megazord, Dragon Zord, but you can definitely tell the plastic is cheaper And then with stuff like this, just getting it right out of the box, it's already broken. You can tell that's definitely going to be cheap. So these probably won't hold up too well over the years, but overall it just looks really cool. So we have the Astro Megazord blaster here down on the bottom. The shield is down in there as well that it's connected to. We have the guns up on top, so the little like turret guns here that can spin around. Of course, you saw the Mega Shuttle go inside, and then we have little fins on the back, and I love like the chrome design. So back like on the engine stuff, we have some chrome. Same on the front there. Love the blue. We have the red like chest design that we'll see when we transform it. Just looks really cool, and the nice shiny red, and just overall looks just really cool and awesome in this mode. Of course, it's big and huge and would take up a lot of space, so I definitely want to put this on my shelf with all my other Megazords, but I don't know if it'll be able to fit in the Megazord mode, so I may have to leave it in this mode, but then this is so wide it'll take up a lot of space, so I'm not exactly sure what I'll have to do with. I'll just have to mess around with it and see what fits, but just looks really cool in the Megaship mode here. But then we can try to transform it. So first it looks like we need to take off the accessories, so we need to take the gun off of the bottom, then the little pieces off the sides that I had to pop in, so you gotta pop these out, again one on each side, and then we also have to get the shield out from the bottom. So it's probably easier just to get the arms moved out of the way there and then pull the shield off just like that, and then put these back down. Okay, then we turn out the little guns to the side and then go ahead and open the front piece here to reveal the Mega Shuttle and go and get that out. So we can set this aside because that'll become the head obviously, and you just want these at like a 90-degree angle. There's little flaps inside here that we had to fold down to get the Mega Ship inside there, so you just fold these back up. And I kind of like this design, like I don't think it is, but just the way it's like cut out in here. Of course that's where the Mega Shuttle connected, so it kind of looks like a doorway into the actual ship, so just thought that looked kind of cool. And then we flip it over to move the arms, which I assume with these we just want to pop them up there to get them loose, and then we can flip it back over and then move these legs up now that we have them disconnected from the arms, so we can move the legs up, and we just want to move them both out to the side as far as we can. And now down at the crotch piece, you just take and fold these little flaps up, and it'll help if you have the red pieces sticking straight up. So just fold it up there to get it out of the way, and it should allow you to move the legs down now. And it's pretty difficult. It feels like there's ratchets and stuff up here in the hips, so you just got to be careful twisting that around, and then you can move the legs down. So again, you just got to be careful and get them twisted. Like I said, it doesn't feel too well, so it feels like you're going to break it, but you just got to get twisted around there, and then you can move the legs down there. And then we can fold them straight down, so it gives us our actual feet for standing up. And while we're here, there you can see the clip that's broken. So again, this has happened to a lot of people, and like I said, right out of the box this was broken, so that's why that piece where the arms didn't clip down in here, because it's broken, where this one still has the clip piece. So this one is broken, and like I said, it's kind of rattling around in there. We do have that broken piece, but thankfully it's nothing major. Like it just holds the arm down so the ship would sit down flatter, so it's nothing too major at least, so thankfully it's nothing like that. But it just kind of stinks that I bought this brand new thing for a pretty high price and it's already broken. But from there we can then twist our legs to the front, so there we have our pair of legs now standing in front. And as we move up to the ship, we can now fold this crotch piece back down and fold these red flaps to the side so it's covering there, and then bring the arms forward, so we can just pull both of these pieces out to the front, so you get both of those arms clipped. This one had issues, like the clip piece here on the side was like closed together, so I'd get something in here and get it pried apart. Thankfully it's not broken or anything, but it does now allow the arm to clip in there. So there we have the arms clipped in, and then the arms do separate out, so that one's already separated, so you pull down on them there. So there we get our arms all moved out, and that brings us to the Mega Shuttle. So there we have the Mega Shuttle, and with this it's pretty easy. You just fold this piece down and then take this and kind of fold it up and over, so it's down covering the face. You just fold it up and over, so there's a peg piece there and a hole there that it pops right into, and the front of the head sort of sits on it like a hat there. So there we have the head, and then you just take and sit this on. I'm sure there's little clips here that go into the back, so we have like these little pegs here on the side that fit into the pegs up here at the top, so there's one on each side, so you can clip it in there and then fold the head forward to sit down inside the little space up top. So there we have the Mega Shuttle sitting now on top of the rest of our ship, forming our whole Astro Megazord. That looks really cool, and overall it does feel pretty stable. Like of course the legs are big and chunky, so they're not going to move, so as long as you have them, you know, standing just straight up, they feel pretty stiff and sturdy, and overall just fit pretty well. Oh, and we got to twist the hands around so we can use those. So there we got the hands twist around there, and there we have our Astro Megazord all together, and it looks really cool. I really like the design of this, and it was pretty simple. There's a bit of toughness in the transformation, but overall it looks really nice. And of course this thing is huge. It's absolutely humongous. And I will say, even though it does, like, you know, feel cheap and we already have that broken piece, like I said, when it's in this mode it does feel pretty sturdy. Like just the way it is now, I have no issue just like sitting this on a shelf and feeling confident it'll stay standing. Like I said, it does help a lot that the feet are so big, so that kind of fills in the sturdiness, but it just feels pretty solid. It's not like the Megazord where it was like wobbling back and forth or anything, so it does feel really stable, so it fits and works out pretty well. Now speaking of, I do want to show the comparison to the Megazord. So here is the Hasbro ZAP Megazord. Megazord, the Dino Megazord, so you can see the height difference, just how big it is. I mean, this Megazord was the biggest Dino Megazord I've ever had, so it was really big itself, and now having the Astro Megazord next to it, it just looks so much bigger, and this one looks like a little child. So definitely really cool to see how big this thing is. It's just so big and monstrous and looks awesome. Now, the biggest thing with the ZAP Megazords is that they have additional movements and stuff, and you can actually do some movements and everything. So let's try the head. I don't know how much it'll move since the way, you know, the head went together to form this piece, but it looks like it can move a little back and forth and twist side to side. So it does have some movements. And while we're up here, we will go ahead and look inside the shuttle. So it does have, since this is where the Rangers sit and everything, it does open up to reveal all our Rangers in there. So hard to see, and with me zoomed all the way in, it kind of made everything darker, but we do have all 5 Rangers sitting in the cockpit there. So that is really cool to have that. I remember I forgot to show that off when I did the Dino Megazord. So definitely want to make sure I show that off on here. So cool that they sit in the head there. And as you saw, pretty good movements there in the neck. Now we go to the arms. So the arms should be, I would assume, I would think be able to rotate, but I guess by the way they're connected, they don't rotate at all. But we do get like an elbow joint here that can bend up to 90, and it looks like it does move out to the side a little bit. It has a joint in there, so it can move back and forth a little. So we have that movements. The wrist can twist all the way around, and as you saw, we do get some hand replacements. So we can switch the hands out to actually put some weapons in. And then we go down, and it does have an ab crunch, so it can crunch back and forth, which again is pretty crazy, and it's pretty nice and stiff, so it's not going to just easily bend over on us. But pretty cool that it does have that movement and a twist at the waist, so it can twist all the way around there. So pretty good with the crunch and twist. The hips, we get a little bit of movement, so it can come up about that far, so pretty much 45, and of course it has the little flat piece that can get out of the way, but it can move back and forth. It can go back a little there as well, and then out to the side we can come up at least that far, so about 45 out there as well. There is a thigh twist, so right where the chrome meets in with the gray, that twists around there, so we can twist the legs around. There is like a knee joint, so it can bend there, so it can like kick back that far, so nice, but it does move back and forth. And then we do get the foot that can move back and forth. Hopefully you can hear over the popping, but back and forth. And it should have side to side, but it's just very little for the foot, unfortunately, so just a little rocking back and forth. So that's why if you have it standing, you pretty much need to have the legs just straight on there for it to stand up. So overall, there's not as many movements as the Dino Megazord had, but there's still plenty enough to actually give some movements around, and pretty much better than any Megazord you can normally have, so can't really complain too much about that. But now that we have it all together here, we can go ahead and switch out the hands that give them its weapon. So for the weapons, we'll go ahead and switch out with the grip hands. So there's the hands switched out, and first we'll go ahead and give it the Astro Megazord saber. So the big long saber, like I said, that's huge, which with how big this ship is, it kind of makes more sense. So there we have the sword, which looks cool again with the Mega Ranger logo in the center there, and just overall really nice big sword. So we'll slide this in his hand. So there's the saber. Not the easiest thing to get in because of the two, they're both like the softer plastic, like rubbery plastic. So those two rubbing against each other is pretty hard to get in there, but it does fit, so that's cool. We can give it the Astro Megazord blaster as well. So again, we have this piece. We can take these little pieces and pop them onto the side. So we have both of those, and then fold it out to the gun. So you got to fold this front piece out and then fold the handle down as well. So there we have the gun that we can pop into its other hand. So there it has the gun and the saber now. And then finally we have the shield, which looks really cool. Of course, the Mega Ranger on there, and that looks really cool. And there's the look at the inside, which of course we have to sort of twist it around to get it folded out. And then we have the handle on here we can fold out as well. So it looks like I did that upside down. So if we twist it around the other way, kind of pops in there to fulfill the shield. And then we have the handle on there. Now it's facing in the proper direction. And so with this, obviously with the handle, we can stick it into the hand. So if instead of the gun, we wanted it in there, or we can fold it down, and it has this design in here where it can actually clip onto the wheel. So on the side with how it rolled and stuff, we can take this and clip it onto the side of the wheel here. So it clips on there, and so there it has the shield on the side as well. So it can have all the weapons there, which is really cool. So it has the shield, sword, and the blaster. So that looks really cool. So having all those together is really awesome, and that's probably how I'd have it displayed, that or without the gun and with the shield in the hand, just one of those two forms there, just because I want to have at least extra stuff as possible. And then the instructions do show there is an additional thing you can do. I don't know what it's for exactly, but if we can get the gun out of its hand and then transform back, so put the gun back in there like that, and then you have to take the Astro Mega Shuttle, so we have to take the head off and get it back into the shuttle mode, so get it back in the mode like that, and then you can take and attach it on here with the peg. You can attach it on here. And then it's like an extra little booster thing for the Mega Shuttle to go flying around. Like I said, maybe that's how it went in the space. I'm not exactly sure, but it is an additional little thing, and I wanted to show that off since it was in the instructions. But obviously for me, I definitely just want this up on the head. But now that we have that, we can go and transform back. So we'll go ahead and just pull the head off and leave it in the shuttle mode just like this. And then we'll go and take off like the shield and the sword. So again, you take the shield off and then you can twist this. You just push in on the inside section here, and it seems to only twist one way. So you just twist it whatever way to get it flat there in the center. So it has the open section. So we'll set that aside. And then we can take the sword out as well. Now for me, of course, I'll just go and leave the grip hands on since that's what I'll want to have it in. So now we have just our bare ship, and then we just reverse it to go back into the Mega Ship mode. So again, take the head off, which I already did, and then we just go and straighten the arms back up and push them back in. So up like this, undo the arms and get them folded to the back, fold up the crotch pieces and have them out of the way like that. Again, twist the legs to the side, so get them both twisted out to the side direction here and fold them up as high as they'll go. Maybe easier to fold these up there. And so we need to then twist them. You need to twist them forward here to get them up and around and out to the side. So again, not the easiest thing and feels kind of sketchy doing it, but you just got to work it around until you get it pretty much all the way straight out to the side. So just like that. And then with that, we can bend the legs forward. So go ahead and just fold both of these forward like that. We can flip it around and then put the arms back down. So again, one of the sides is broken. This one's the complete one, so it pops right back in there, but this one has the broken peg. So it'd be nice if it can go with it. And I guess it does. It's just when it's sitting, it seems to be lifted out of the way, but there it can at least sit down inside there. And then we can flip our ship back over, go and fold these pieces back down so we can put the Mega Shuttle back inside. So we just fold those down and start to fold this forward, and then take the Mega Shuttle and slide it in. And it has these two little pegs on the back that go into the peg slots there in the back. Go ahead and push it all the way back in there to get the pegs put in just like that, so it's stuck in there. And then you can close this in around it, so it closes in together. And then there is a clip right here in the front, which does look like it's a clip here that folds in, so you just gotta make sure you have it folded out so it can clip in together. So I got it clipped in there, so now it's held together, and overall looks pretty good, and like it sits a lot better, especially with the missing piece in there. Now it still fits together and it's not as crooked and everything. Point those guns forward so they can be shooting, and fold the flaps down here on the back like that with the pieces folded up. So there we pretty much have the Mega Ship all back together. Now we just got to put the stuff on the bottom, so let's flip it over, of course straighten that up, and then we can take our shield piece, and it has all the 4 clips here on it that go into the clip pieces there on the bottom. And it's easier if you have the arms folded out a little bit to get it to fit down in here. So it clips just right down there on the bottom, and then we can fold these arms back in. And again, they have the rollers here, so it allows the ship to roll on the table and stuff. So we have that, and there it can roll back and forth. And the final bit is our gun pieces. So again, separate these out, so pull these pieces off the sides, take this, fold the barrel piece forward, and it just clips in the bottom onto the shield. So there's this hole right here on the shield, so you just peg this in there, so it has a gun there at the front. And then these 2 pieces go on the sides of the ship, so right here in these red sections, these 2 clip right in. So there we have those on each side of the ship now, and our Mega Ship is complete. So we have the Astro Megazord in ship mode, which is really cool because everything's pretty much contained. We just have the sword and the extra hands to worry about, and then of course all our little rangers here, which are really cool, and I love having these, just all these different rangers. I wish there was more details to them and stuff, but it is just cool having them, and you can tell like what they're supposed to be, and they're all posed in the same way and stuff. So it's really cool to have those tag along with our ship, and they are here for like size comparison because they're supposed to be to a scale. So it's cool that you can see them all here and what they're supposed to be size wise compared to the ship, and just how big it is, as you saw in the Megazord mode, just how big it was. But that's gonna be it for the Hasbro Power Rangers Zord Ascension Project Astro Megazord. So this is really cool. Like I said, it just really stinks that that clip is broken, but fortunately it doesn't hinder any of the thing. Like the arm still folds up, and it now currently sits flat where before it was sticking up. So maybe the clip wasn't fully broken yet, but now it sits pretty flat. So don't have really any issues with that now. And since it sits flat, and like I said, it only holds the arm piece there, so nothing real major. And like even picking it up, it's not like the arm just flaps around and stuff. It's just not held in. So it's not like it's that major of a thing, but it just kind of stinks. You pay so much for this ship and then it comes broken. But overall though, at least it's something minor like that and not something major that I have to worry about. And overall, I just really like this lot. I'm so happy. Like I said, it's my first in-space Zord. Now I did have their other Megazord when I was a kid, the one where each ranger had their own separate piece. I did have that when I was a kid. It was my brother's, but we got rid of that years ago. So now currently this is my first in-space ship, and I'm glad it's the Megazord. And I believe they've hinted at the Silver Ranger ship coming in as well in this, so I'm excited to get that as well, since I've never been able to buy the original one. So overall, I do really like this ship. I think it's a good quality overall. Like I said, besides that broken peg, everything else about it seems really nice quality wise. It seems better than the Megazord and stands up a lot better, that's for sure. And overall, I'm just so happy with this, like how big it is and the size. It can transform into this ship as well as the Megazord. So just overall, I'm just really happy with this, and I'm glad I got it. But let me know what you thought of the ship down in the comments. If you enjoyed my review, let me know with a thumbs up. But thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.